The quest to find the nation's best collegiate basketball team resumes today from right here in Tanawan City, Batangas, inside the First Asia Institute of Technology and Humanities gym, as we have a UAAP versus NCAA matchup as the Jose Rizal University Heavy Bombers of Tete Chodoro and the NU Bulldogs, led of course by JJ Alejandro, will take the floor to see which team will advance to the next phase of the 2015 National Collegiate Championship. This is all brought to you live and exclusive by ABS-CBN Sports, and we are all set for battle here inside the Faith Gym. Mabuhay Pilipinas at maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok ngayon sa ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Anton Rojas, joined once again by Marco Benitez, and later on at courtside, makakasama natin si Ira Pablo reporting for NU and Roxanne Montealegre para sa panig ng JRU. Well, partner, it has come down to this, the final day of the Metro Manila eliminations. It's a battle for the right to move on to the next phase of the tournament between JRU and NU.
Well, that is right, Anton. And, you know, the people here in Tanawan and those watching at home are going to be treated to a nice matchup here because there's always that unspoken battle for bragging rights between NCAA and UAAP teams. And right now, we're going to be seeing the number 4 teams in the NCAA, the JRU Heavy Bombers, and the number 4 team in the UAAP, the NU Bulldogs, slug it out this afternoon. The winner of this matchup will move forward to the Luzon Metro Manila qualifiers, like what you mentioned. NU is defeated Pats last Thursday. JRU also, that's what last Thursday, while JRU defeated Pats last Wednesday. So the winner here will advance and will be playing Olivares College, which is the South Luzon Bicol champion. Meanwhile, in the other group, TIP already advances with a 2-0 slate. They defeated Mapua Institute of Technology 70-64 and then defeated St. Clair College 62-59 to advance from Group A. They will be playing the University of San Carlos, the champion of the CESAFI tournament down in Cebu, as part of the Luzon Metro Manila qualifier. They will be playing the Lyceum Northwestern University Dukes in the Luzon Metro Manila qualifier, and the winner of that will advance to play the University of San Carlos Seminary.
Well, starting today, Marco, in this tournament, every game is a knockout game. So this is an opportunity to move forward. Wala nang bukas para sa bawat koponan. We have the Heavy Bombers and the Bulldogs going at it. And speaking of the Heavy Bombers, sinabi mo nga kanina, Marco, nagtagumpay sila kontra sa Pats Seahorses. And it was a dominating performance for the squad of Coach Berhel Meneses. And the player who starred in that game was his third-year power forward, Irvin Grospe.
Well, Irvin Grospe, not really a guy that they run plays for. He scores a lot on drop passes, putbacks, had 15 points in 16 minutes. So very efficient outing for Irvin Grospe. His NCAA averages 6.6 points per game, 3.1 rebounds per game in 18 minutes of play. Shoots also at about 51%. So he's going to be playing a big role here together with guys like Abdel Potucci, Paulo Ponteos, and of course Tete Chodoro. And they're going to be matched up against Alfred Aroga, JJ Alejandro, even Rev Diputado of NU.
Well, this is the opportunity of guys like Irvin Grospe to show what they can do on national television dahil nga may mga players na wala na sa kanilang kupunan, graduated, guys like their team captain Dave Sanchez, Marco Balagtas. Ito na ang pagkakataon ng mga katulad ni Grospe na magpakitang gilas. And NU also has a lot of players that are no longer on their lineup. Kaya naman magse-step up na yung mga susunod na veterano ng kupunan ni Coach Eric Altamirano.
Well, number 1 guy who has graduated, Jello Alolino, their lead playmaker, #1 scorer for this team. That's why JJ Alejandro, Twitter name nga niya, JJ Pogi, came up to the fore. 25 points in that last outing against Pats. 25 points was also his season high in the UAAP, and he's going to be counted on by NU to be sniping from the outside. And of course, you have the man in the middle, Alfred Aroga, one of the most dominating big men in the UAP. You see JJ's numbers, 25 points, 8 out of 9 field goals. He had 16 points in the first half of that ball game. He was 5 out of 5 from the 3-point area. So JJ, for sure, he's going to look to up his average here in the NCC.
Tunay na nagpapogi itong si JJ Alejandro in his first game as the main man of the NU Bulldogs dahil nga, sinabi mo, wala na ang kanilang starting backcourt of Javelona and Alulino.
Well, and he's going to be counted on a lot, especially because NU likes to run the dribble drive offense, and he's going to be stationed at the corner at the wing. We saw also Daviu playing that point guard position, and he's going to mix it up with Daviu and Rev Diputado at the point guard spot, and they're going to be counted for a lot of the offensive punch of NU at the backcourt.
And on the other end, he's going to be matched up against guys like Tete Chodoro and Paulo Pontejos. But that man, the aerial voyager, Coach Vergel Meneses, will be matched up against champion coach on the other side, Eric Altamirano of the NU Bulldogs. And when we come back, we shall have tip-off from right here inside the Faith Gym in Tanawan City, Batangas. Ito po, ang Day 3 ng Metro Manila Elimination sa 2015 National Collegiate Championship. There can only be one.
Bulldogs, wearing jersey number 12, Rodolfo Alejandro. Wearing jersey number 5, Advenges Diputado. Wearing jersey number 45, John Rizal.
Binabati namin kayo muli mula dito sa Faith Gym sa Tanawan City, Batangas para sa aming patuloy na pagpapalabas ng 2015 National Collegiate Championship. This is the final day of the Metro Manila Eliminations, and we have the starters on your screens for both JRU and NU. We have Tete Chodoro, Jed Mendoza, one of the new additions sa NCC lineup ni Coach Vergel Meneses, Abdel Patucci, Irvin Grospe, and Jordan De La Paz. Para naman sa panig ng NU, we have Matt Salem, Michael Pate, two players who have been inserted to the lineup of NU. Starting for Coach Eric Altamirano, joined of course by Rangel, who's starting number 45 at the center position. And of course, we have JJ Alejandro and Jess Diputado.
First quarter.
Same starters here for the NU Bulldogs. You have the new faces in Mike Pate, and well, Matt Salem is not really a new face. He's a familiar face, transferred from De La Salle University. Chadi Rangel, rookie this year in the UAAP, getting starters minutes. And Alfred Aroga came off the bench in that last game against Pats.
Napansin natin nung huling laban ng parehong kupunan, Marco, talagang divided almost equally ang minuto ng mga manlalaro. But in a game like this, a do-or-die situation, we can expect the main guns, sila yung ibababad ng kanilang mga coaches.
Yeah, in that last game, Coach Eric Altamirano used 16 players. Coach Vergel, meanwhile, used 15 players in his rotation. So you can expect that to shorten, especially as we approach the second half of this ball game as the stakes become higher. Nga sabi mo nga, partner, do-or-die game na to.
Meanwhile, Chadi Rangel is able to knock down a jumper, trying to draw out Abdel Patucci from the paint.
Coaching staff of National University sees a lot of promise dito kay Chadi Rangel. And he stands about 6'7", has a pretty good wingspan.
Samantala, Jed Mendoza, ang bagong player ni Coach Vergel Meneses, nakapuntos dito sa ating first quarter. Kapos ang tira ni JJ Alejandro, rebound Jordan De La Paz.
Sabi nga natin, JJ Alejandro started out 5 out of 5. He actually finished 5 out of 5 from 3. And another guy who can hit a three-pointer, Tete Chodoro.
This is a guy who led the Heavy Bombers in scoring in the NCAA, averaging 16 points per game. One of the most clutch performers sa season 91 ng NCAA.
And yung three-point shooting niya, deceiving at 26% from 3. Pero if we had clutch stats, I'm sure his clutch three-point shooting is much higher than that.
Meanwhile, Michael Pate is able to get a basket underneath. Michael Pate, the last time we saw him on national television was when he was playing for the College of St. Benilde in the NCAA. At sinabi sa akin ni Coach Vic Icasiano na meron pa siyang 2 more years of eligibility in the UAAP. JJ Alejandro able to spin and convert to the delight of the crowd here sa Faith Gym.
Well, JJ Alejandro, ever since his playing days in the Mapua High School, is really not just a shooter but a flat-out scorer. That time showing us he can go coast to coast and with a spin cycle for the finish.
JJ Alejandro matching his UAP career high sa kanilang unang laban na yung NCC against the Pat Seahorses. He gets a rebound right here. JJ umarangkada. JJ kicks the ball out to Diputado. Salem for 3. Matt Salem unable to connect.
I remember that is the specialty of Matt Salem back in his LaSalle days. He played a stretch 4 position for Coach Juno Sauler.
And he was part of that championship team of LaSalle 2 years ago.
Except in season 76 at the UAP was his best season. Averaged 10, I played in 10 games, 2.8 points per game. It dipped in season 77, but less than a point per game.
Let's go now at courtside. We have NU's Ira Pablo. Ira?
Anton and Marco, after the departure of their 5 veterans, the addition of the new players from NU's Team B is what Coach Eric Altamirano is looking forward to. The process of examining the abilities of each new player and how they will work together as a team has been the focus of their trainings. And so far, playing here at the NCC has given them great results. Although they only had a few practices, the league has been giving them experience and a step forward in finding the identity of this rebuilding team. Anton and Marco?
Maraming salamat, Ira. 5 nga ang nawala sa kubran ni Coach Eric Altamirano, Jello Alolino, Pau Havilona, Kyle Napes, Reden Celda, and Jeff Havilonar. But new additions like Michael Pate and Matt Salem trying to make their presence felt para sa Bulldogs.
And you know, partner, I think one of the things that NU may possibly tweak slightly is their pace of play.
Yes.
In the UAP, they were the slowest team in terms of pace. But in their last game, they had 25 fast break points against, or make that 27 fast break points against Pats. You can really see they have the ability to turn up the pace and really run at a faster tempo.
Especially with a guy like this, JJ Alejandro, who stops, shoots, shot is short. He's really got the green light now.
Oh, nobody there for the offensive rebound, but JJ takes it anyway.
JJ Alejandro, very disappointed with his performance in UAP season 78. He feels that he could have done more. Kaya naman he wants to show what he could have done in the UAP dito sa NCC as Chodoro jacks up a triple. It doesn't drop. 7-6 ang ating talaan. Lamang pa rin ng Heavy Bombers.
I remember that UAAP, NU faced one playoff game and then they faced UST, which eventually went to the finals. They lost to UST in that Final Four battle.
Salem unable to draw a foul. Jed Mendoza goes all the way.
Itong JRU naman, also another one of those teams that can run, especially when you have a backcourt like Paulo Pontejos and Tate Isidoro, and Mendoza now showing us as well.
Mendoza, a transferee from San Beda, Alabang. Defending Diputado. Salem all day to shoot. And Matt Salem still can't find the touch. JJ with a fake. Stops, pops. Doesn't drop. Tapi ka ng bola. It ends up in the hands of Irvin Grospe.
Field goal percentage of National University really taking a dive here. First quarter, 27% from the field.
Patucci is able to convert in the paint. Abdel Patucci muscling his way to the basket for an 11-6 advantage. This is day number 3 of the Metro Manila eliminations sa 2015 National Collegiate Championship. Well, earlier, Ira Pablo talked about the new players from the NU side. Ngayon naman, pumunta tayo sa JRU side. Roxanne Montealegre has this report. Rox?
Thank you, Anton. Even if the JRU Heavy Bombers were up by a very good margin in their last game against Pat Seahorses, hindi pa rin masaya sa performance nila ang newly appointed team captain na si Paulo Pontejos. Sabi niya, nag-relax pa rin kami sa last game namin at hindi na pwedeng maulit yon. Kung sa Pats, hindi namin alam what to expect from them. We know that the NU Bulldogs will be a very big challenge for us because they're one of the top teams in the UAAP and we cannot let that happen again. That's why this time, hindi kami pwedeng magpadala sa pressure. Yan ang sabi niya. So we will know later if the Heavy Bombers will be able to explode on the hard court. Marco, Anton?
Thank you very much, Roxanne. Paulo Pontejos, now the team captain for the JRU side because previous team captain Dave Sanchez has already graduated from the Heavy Bombers. Coach Verhel in his 6th season at the helm for JRU. Would you believe, partner, he coached 114 games already in the NCAA.
Oh, so he's actually one of the longer tenured coaches already in the NCAA.
Or maybe even in the entirety of collegiate basketball dito sa Pilipinas. Pontejos is now on the floor as Arroga jacks up a jumper. He has also checked in as well. At napansin mo nga, partner, na kondisyon itong si Alfred Arroga.
He's probably about 230. I was talking to Coach Mark Caron, one of the strength and conditioning coach of NU. He says Arroga is probably about 230 pounds. In the UAP, he was doing about 250, 260. So you can see Arroga quite lean, and he's had that stroke from the outside.
Instant offense, kakapasok lang, puntos agad para kay Alfred Arroga.
Shoots 44% from the field. And you see that block from a transferee also to National University, Matt Aquino, came from the Adamson Falcons.
Talagang binibigyan ni Coach Eric Altamirano ng playing time ito mga transferees niya. Just like Matthew Aquino. Now with Matthew Aquino on the floor, look at Alfred Arroga playing on the outside.
He's playing the 4 position here, and you can see that Arroga, the more versatile, more athletic player between him and Aquino, has the ability to penetrate, has the ability to bring the ball up, take it coast to coast. So he's going to be playing the 4. We're probably going to see him play the 4 position more often here for NU.
Pontejos. Mendoza. Back to Pontejos. De La Paz. De La Paz naghahanap ng kakampi, binigay kay Mendoza. Back to De La Paz, who has to shoot top of the key 3. Rebound Arroga. Diputado attacking. Bounce pass underneath.
Substitution.
And you know, partner, just to go back to that point with National University, it's going to be quite a scary prospect to be playing against an Alfred Arroga at the 4 position with Matthew Aquino at the 5. Because normally the African big men, they play the 5 position in the UAAP. So he's going to be matched up with arguably a smaller local player. And he's going to be almost surely stronger than that local player.
Timeout muna tayo. Magbabalik po ang 2015 National Collegiate Championship. For the 4th straight year, we are here in the First Asia Institute of Technology and Humanities for the 2015 National Collegiate Championship. But if you're back in Manila or wherever you are, no problem. You can check out the games via live streaming on sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/NCC. And Abdel Patucci, who actually saw action for JRU for the first time on national television in the NCC last year. Dito rin yun sa Faith Gym. Hoping for a better showing this time around. And this is a big test for Patucci as he's matched up against Alfred Arroga.
And you know, during the Final Four, during the season of the UAAP, also talking to the coaches of National University, something that they mentioned that during that time, they were discouraging Alfred Arroga to be taking those fade-away jumpers because ang laki nga ng advantage niya in the paint, especially if he goes aggressive to the basket. But he's been practicing, he's been improving that outside shot.
Patucci called for traveling.
Shuffled his feet before he made that move on the baseline. Itong si Abdel Potucci, as he is about to be replaced by Abdul Wahab Abdul Razak. Potucci averaged 8.5 points and 8.5 rebounds per game in 22 minutes of play.
Aba tayo. Aroga, 10 on the shot clock. Aroga kicks it out to Dave Yu for the shoot. Yu fires. In and out. Tapikan ang bola mapupunta kay Alfred Aroga, who can't convert on the hook shot, but Matthew Aquino was there for the putback.
And there you see the length of Matthew Aquino. It becomes very difficult when you have Aroga and Aquino crashing the boards. And partner, another new face on the floor here, number 45 or 46 rather, JV Gallego, the star or the stud from Chiang Kai-shek High School. This guy was an MVP of the NBPC, and he played against the Hubert Cani-led NU Bullpups. He scored 32 points against them in one of the summer leagues. I think it was the PCBL.
Ito nga ang kagandahan ng NCC. We get a preview of the future.
Itong si JV Gallego is a lefty. Plays the two-guard position, can shoot, can penetrate.
Well, he's got to shoot right here. Rushed it with one on the shot clock. 13 all ang ating talaan. 39.9 seconds ang nalalabi dito sa unang yugto ng ating bakbakan.
Dave Yu now playing the point guard position here.
Montejos. The creator on the floor for JRU. And he drains that basket.
And this is going to be a big challenge here for JV Gallego as a rookie to play against a guy like Paulo Ponteos. Veteranong na to si Ponteos. And he's a legit scorer.
Alfred Aroga could not break down the wall named Abdul Razak Abdul Wahab. What about this move? Up and under move by Paulo Pontejos, one of the craftiest players in collegiate basketball here in the country.
Tawag dyan, veteran smarts. And you also see here, you notice here the little nuances of the rules from the NCAA, between the NCAA and the UAAP. You have JRU who has two foreign players in Abdul Wahab and Potucci. Meanwhile, for NU, they only have one player because the UAAP only allows one foreign player. Right now for them, it's Alfred Aroga.
Let's take a look at this last sequence right here kung saan nakuha ni Aquino ang rebound. 3.4 seconds to go. Dave Yu will be the trigger man as he puts this ball in play. Aroga has to fire. It's another fadeaway. And he is denied by Abdul Razak Abdul Wahab.
That's great defense there from Abdul, knowing the tendencies of Alfred Aroga, knowing the amount of time left on the clock. Good challenge there.
Well, the Stars have come out to play. Tate Chodoro knocking down a three-point bomb. What about JJ Alejandro putting up some bogey points once again dito sa NCC? And the new guys, Jed Mendoza, making their presence felt. Diputado also knocking one down from the outside. And the new captain, Paulo Pontejos, showing us the moves here in Tanawan City, Batangas. 15-13 ang ating talaan. Lamang ang Heavy Bombers kontra sa Bulldogs. Ito po ang 2015 National Collegiate Championship.